In this video, we're going to talk about possessive adjectives. The possessive adjectives are my, your, his, her, its, our, their, and whose. So what is a possessive adjective? Well, a possessive adjective sits before a noun or a pronoun, more about that in a second, to show who or what owns it, or who or what possesses it. And now you can see where the name possessive adjective comes from. Let's look at some examples. Here we have the possessive adjective my sitting before the noun dog to show who owns the dog. Here is another example. Your house, his car, and her dream. Look up to the top one, my dog. We've now replaced the noun with a pronoun because remember, a possessive adjective can sit before a noun or a pronoun to show who or what owns it. Let's make the examples a bit longer. Our little pond. Well, here we have the possessive adjective our, and it's modifying the noun pond. Notice that the possessive adjective comes first. We have a whole lesson on the order of adjectives, but for this lesson, it's enough to know that possessive adjectives always come first. Here is another example. They're 3 naughty children. Notice that the possessive adjective comes first. Now, look at this one. Whose shoes? Whose is classified as a possessive adjective. It's modifying the noun shoes. But whose is also classified as an interrogative adjective, which means it can be used to form a question. Look at this. Whose shoes are these? But look at this example. Never trust a doctor whose plants have died. Here we have the possessive adjective whose modifying the word plants to show who owns them. So you can see that whose is not always used to form a question. Okay, let's clear the screen. I want to talk now about the term possessive determiner, because some people call possessive adjectives possessive determiners. Let's use Google's Ngram viewer to look at millions of books written over the last 2 centuries to see how popular the term possessive adjective has been compared to the term possessive determiner. So this is possessive adjective, and this is possessive determiner. What this graph shows us is that the term possessive adjective is still notably more common than possessive determiner, and also that possessive determiner is a relatively new term, but just be aware that both terms exist. We're going to talk a little bit more about determiners in a second, but for now, look at this sentence. Sarah has found her glasses. So here we have the possessive adjective her modifying the noun glasses. But look, the word her is representing Sarah. So the word her is a type of pronoun because it's representing a noun. And that's what pronouns do. Let's look at another example. The dog has eaten its dinner. Here we have the possessive adjective its modifying the noun dinner, but it's also representing the noun phrase the dog. That classifies it as a type of pronoun. Grammarians like to say that possessive adjectives have a pronominal function. And this is one of the main reasons that some grammarians insist that possessive adjectives are called possessive determiners, because they have a pronominal function and normal adjectives do not. Okay, let's start giving you some of the terminology. So what I'm putting up here are the single and plural personal pronouns. And here are their corresponding possessive adjectives. So these are the personal pronouns and these are the possessive adjectives. What I'd also like to put up, just to clear something up, are the possessive pronouns. Because remember we've said that possessive adjectives are a type of pronoun, but you mustn't call them possessive pronouns because this list on the right hand side are possessive pronouns. So, best say that possessive adjectives, or possessive determiners if you prefer that term, have a pronominal function. Don't call them possessive pronouns, because this list on the right is what we mean by possessive pronouns. The next thing I'd like to do is just give you a bit more terminology. This row is called the first person singular row. This is called the second person singular row. And this one the third person singular row. And then we switch to the plural rows. First person plural, second person plural, and third person plural. Okay, so if you look up to the word my, you can say that is the first person singular possessive adjective. And if you look at the word her, you can say that is one of the third person singular possessive adjectives. I'm showing you this just to give you some terminology. Okay, let's clear most of that. I've left these ones on the screen. Let's tidy them up a bit. Okay. The reason why I've left these is because these three words are villains among the possessive adjectives because they are the common cause of some spelling mistakes. Do not confuse the possessive adjective with U''re. U''re is always a contraction of you are. If you cannot expand it to you are, then it is wrong. The same deal with it''s. This is always a contraction of it is or it has. If you cannot expand it to it is or it has, then the apostrophe is wrong. Same for there. They''re is always a contraction of they are. And also, do not confuse it with there. You can remember this version of there because it includes the word here, and both of them usually represent places in a sentence. I want to leave you with this summarizing slide. The possessive adjectives are my, your, his, her, its, our, their, and whose. A possessive adjective sits before a noun or a pronoun to show who or what owns it. And remember, this is the terminology used to describe them. Remember also that possessive adjectives have a pronominal function, and this is one of the main reasons why some grammarians insist they're called possessive determiners. That's all. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out some of our other videos on grammarmonster.com.